The Story of Thomas Jefferson by Megan M. Gunderson. Thomas Jefferson was the third president of the United States. He helped create America. Jefferson also fought for human rights. In 1776, Jefferson wrote the Declaration of Independence. This was an important document. It stated that the United States was an independent country. Throughout his life, Jefferson worked for equal rights for all Americans. For this reason, Thomas Jefferson is sometimes called Man of the People. Early years. Thomas Jefferson was born in Shadwell, Virginia on April 13, 1743. At the time, Virginia was a British colony. The Jeffersons moved to a nearby plantation in 1745. In 1752, they returned to Shadwell. Thomas attended school near Charlottesville, Virginia. Law and politics. In 1760, Jefferson traveled to Williamsburg, Virginia. There he attended the College of William and Mary. However, Jefferson left college after 2 years. For the next 5 years, Jefferson studied law in Williamsburg. In 1767, he became a lawyer. 2 years later, Jefferson entered politics. He was elected to the Virginia legislature. Jefferson wrote many laws. Some were later used in the U.S. Constitution. Today, Americans enjoy freedom of religion thanks to Jefferson. Monticello. In 1768, Jefferson decided to build a house. It was built on a small hill near Shadwell. Jefferson called his home Monticello. This word is Italian for little mountain. Around this time, Jefferson met Martha Wales Skelton. Jefferson and Martha fell in love. They were married on January 1, 1772. The Jeffersons had 6 children, but only 2 survived childhood. Their daughter Martha was born in 1772. Maria was born in 1778. Today, Monticello is a popular attraction. People visit it to learn more about Jefferson. I myself had the opportunity to visit Monticello. It is a fantastic place to visit. If you ever get the chance, you should visit. Congress. In the 1770s, there were 13 British colonies. In 1773, the British placed unfair taxes on the colonists. The next year, colony leaders met to discuss fair treatment from the British. This meeting is called the First Continental Congress. Jefferson was ill and did not attend the meeting, but he did go to a meeting of the Second Continental Congress in 1775. The Continental Congress acted as the colony's new government. George Washington would lead its army. The American Revolution had begun. Washington served as the Army's commander-in-chief during the American Revolution. Independence. In 1776, Jefferson joined another committee. It wrote the Declaration of Independence. Jefferson was the chief author of this document. The Continental Congress adopted the Declaration of Independence on July 4th. The document stated that the United States was an independent nation. That autumn, Jefferson returned to Virginia. As a Virginia legislator, he worked for better state laws. These laws gave Virginians the right to own land and to receive an education. The Declaration of Independence was signed in Independence Hall in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. In 1779, Jefferson became governor of Virginia. He was re-elected in 1780. Meanwhile, the American Revolution was still going on. The British Army invaded Virginia in 1781. Jefferson barely escaped capture. He retired at the end of his term. On September 6, 1782, Martha Jefferson died. Jefferson was sad and missed his wife. Hoping to forget his sadness, he re-entered politics. Jefferson was elected to serve as a delegate to the Continental Congress. In 1784, he went to France as a U.S. diplomat. He became U.S. Minister to France in 1785. Jefferson moved the state capital from Williamsburg to Richmond in 1780. He designed the Virginia Capitol in Richmond. Secretary of State. While Jefferson was in France, George Washington became the first U.S. president. Jefferson returned home in 1789. Washington asked Jefferson to join his cabinet. Jefferson became the first U.S. Secretary of State. Jefferson often argued with Alexander Hamilton. Hamilton was Secretary of the Treasury. He thought a strong national government should rule the country. Jefferson disagreed. He thought most decisions should be made by the states. President Washington often sided with Hamilton. This made Jefferson upset. So at the end of 1793, he returned home to Virginia. In 1796, Jefferson ran for president. He lost to John Adams, but Jefferson became Adams's vice president. Jefferson again ran for president in 1800. This time, Jefferson tied Aaron Burr. By law, the House of Representatives had to break the tie. The House chose Jefferson to become president. Burr became his vice president. Did you know Jefferson appears on the U.S. nickel? President Jefferson. Jefferson took office on March 4, 1801. At that time, France owned the Louisiana Territory. This land was between the Mississippi River and the Rocky Mountains. In 1803, Jefferson bought the land for the United States. This is called the Louisiana Purchase. It made the United States twice as big. In 1804, Jefferson ran for re-election. He easily won. During his second term, Jefferson signed the Embargo Act. This act closed all U.S. ports from shipping goods to other countries. It also stopped them from receiving goods from Britain. Some people wanted Jefferson to run for a third term in 1808. He refused. Jefferson felt being president should not be a lifelong job. Jefferson returned to Monticello in 1809. Did you know Jefferson was the first president to start a term in the new White House? After politics, Jefferson kept busy at Monticello. He spent time with friends and family. In 1819, he started the University of Virginia. Jefferson planned the buildings. He also hired the staff and chose the textbooks. The school opened in 1825. On July 4, 1826, Thomas Jefferson died. He was buried at Monticello. Jefferson is most well known for writing the Declaration of Independence. He is thought to be one of America's most accomplished founders.